Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I'm here to feel the politics with you. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm doing good. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being here. It's crazy. Some weeks, decades happen. And so I had all these cool links. I had all kinds of fun stuff getting ready to go about the shutdown and all this fun stuff and doing shutdown things. And then Epstein explodes all over the place. Now we have to talk about Epstein. It's popping off. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe it's popping off. Maybe it's happening. Maybe the happening is happening. Maybe, I don't know. There are an awful lot of people talking about it though, because let's see what happened. Everything happened today. The government gets started back up, kinda. So we're expecting that, and then that puts Grijalva as the 218th person to sign for this stupid thing in the House. Then that means Mike Johnson, here, let's read about it, has to have a vote about the Epstein files. And so that's happening too. And then let's read where'd it go? Where are you? I have the links ready to go for so many things. So many things. There we go. Click that. Then we go to the window capture. We click right here. We go right here. There we go. Okay, so because the government started back up, Mike Johnson now will be forced to hold a floor vote on an issue that has roiled the Republican base and would, if successful, order the government to release more of its files related to deceased sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Under House rules, no more names can be added or removed from the petition since they hit 218 signatures, but they were trying to trick Boebert into taking her name off of it, which is weird. They dragged her into the Situation Room, not the one on CNN, but the real one inside the White House. Why did they drag her in there? So that she couldn't record the conversation. The streamer bro that runs the FBI and the Nazi who runs the DOJ both dragged her into a very secret room where you're not allowed to record what's going on. You're not allowed to talk about what's happening in there. And it's all very confined. And they tried to trick her or manhandle her or twist her arm into taking her name off of this thing so that the Epstein files don't get released. Some of them are still being released. If you've been online in the past few hours, lots of stuff, lots of emails have been popping off. So yeah, Jeffrey Epstein attacks Donald Trump from beyond the grave is, I think, a good way to explain it tonight. So it's all over the road. Everybody's doing everything. There's so many emails to read. Most of it is not all that interesting. It's not a real thing. It's not like the smoking gun has been dropped. But it's just weird stuff that we'll take a look at. If you find any links, go to the Discord and link them to me. There's emails all over the place. There's thousands of them, I think, and the people are reading through them as fast as they can. And because they're reading through them as fast as they can, some of it gets missed or they pick what is the most important. So that's in Discord chat right there. Copy. I need a better way to put these into the chat, honestly. And there it is in the YouTube chat. Go on over there, leave a link for me, and I'll bring it up on screen if you got something about this topic. And so, yeah, let's keep on keeping on. What do we got? Trump administration officials met with Representative Lauren Boebert at the White House on Wednesday, attempting to convince her to remove her name from the Jeffrey Epstein discharge petition before it could be changed, according to White House officials and a source close to Boebert. She's just one of the 4 House Republicans who signed the Epstein discharge petition. So they wanted to take her name off of it, dropping it down to 217. That means Mike Johnson doesn't have to bring it up for a vote. He may not bring it up for a vote anyway because he's like, crooked and a liar. So that's something to look forward to, where they put this thing out, they get all the signatures, they get 218, they get Grijalva in there, and then he's like, we don't have to do that. It's just a thing on a piece of paper written down. We don't actually have to do anything with that. That's what the good old Pastor Mike Johnson might do. Because he's going to try and block everything he can because he just is the worst kind of person. Now, Speaker Mike Johnson will be forced to hold a floor vote. Will he be forced? I mean, honestly, It wouldn't surprise me if he just went back on the deal and says like, nah, it's okay. If successful, the order. If it's successful, order the government to release more of its files related to deceased sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Under House rules, no more names can be added. Yeah. Trump administration officials and President Donald Trump, who on Wednesday was fending off new allegations about his connection to Epstein, has sought to stop the House from acting in what could be a decisive rebuke of the president, who has argued that the Epstein controversy is a sideshow he thinks the GOP should ignore. House Democrats released new emails Wednesday from Epstein suggesting that Trump knew about the girls, which Trump had repeatedly denied. So there are emails suggesting that he knew about these people, and he has spent hours with Virginia Giuffre, who is one of the most famous survivors until she wasn't a survivor anymore. So they are... what did you talk about with her for hours on end? Donnie, what did you talk to her about? Did you guys just hang out? Just friends? You don't seem like friends. I don't know. You talked about how you never met her. I don't know. Seems kind of weird that the email says you spent a lot of time with her. Let's see what other posts we got. Let's see. Oh, well, yeah. And so to keep going on about Boebert, before we go to the emails, Boebert was not persuaded to remove her name despite the White House's effort to force her, said one of the sources who requested anonymity to discuss the confidential meeting. Kash Patel, the Dude Bro podcasting live streamer, was among those at the meeting. The sources say he's also in charge of the FBI, but he shouldn't be, noting that Trump was not present, but Trump did call the Colorado congresswoman on Tuesday, said two sources familiar with the call who requested anonymity to discuss private discussion, blah, 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 because everything leaks everywhere out of the Republican run government. Everything leaks everywhere. Doesn't matter if it's supposed to be secret or quiet. Someone will leak it. During that conversation, Trump tried to encourage Boebert to remove her name from the discharge petition, which is led by one Republican and one Democrat. Boebert gave the impression that she would not follow suit, the sources said. So, yeah, she wants those reports out, and that's nice that she did a good thing. I like it when they do good things. And this is Kyle Clark. He's a very smart guy. And listen to what he has to say about it.
It sure looks like Congresswoman Lauren Boebert did a brave thing today.
Wow.
Few people in politics are more polarizing, but put politics aside and consider what is being reported by the New York Times, CNN, and others, that President Trump directly pressured Boebert to help him stop the release of the Epstein files by pulling her support off a congressional petition and sinking that effort. Reports say the Trump White House also brought Boebert into the Situation Room for a meeting with the Attorney General and the FBI Director, who we should note are accused of using the Justice Department to punish people who defy the president. And by all appearances, Boebert did defy the president, despite the pressure and the reported threats, stood firm against the wishes of her party and her president. And not on a political or a policy issue where the public is going to hold a wide variety of views, but on the most basic of issues that should unite us all, that pedophiles don't deserve protection, even pedophiles with powerful friends. Now, some of this is going to be speculation because this apparent pressure campaign happened behind closed doors. But if we want courage out of political leaders, then citizens must be willing to recognize and appreciate courage from the politicians that they like the least. It certainly appears that every American who cares about kids and accountability and transparency owes Lauren Boebert their thanks.
So everybody has to go thank her. He makes a good point. As unpleasant as it is, thanks Lauren Boebert for doing a good thing. And this guy sums it up pretty well. The Attorney General and the FBI Director, the Attorney General, who is Pam Bondi the Nazi, and the FBI Director is a Manosphere podcaster bro, pulled into the Situation Room, a member of Congress who's best known for getting kicked out of Beetlejuice musical for drunkenly giving her a date a hand job in order to pressure her about the president's child sex trafficking scandal. That's where you live now. That's the reality that we all get to be a part of. And I think you lay it out that way. That's really weird, right? So let's look at some of the emails. Let's see some of the emails. What do we got? We got emails. What do we got? We got over here. This one made me laugh. Megyn Kelly, the blonde lady on that used to be on Fox News, questions whether Jeffrey Epstein's desire for very young teen types made him a pedophile. She's doing the ephebophile, walking the ephebophile line. I think there's a difference. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. Well, yeah, sure there is, Kelly, but that's both of them are children. Okay. And that's not a good thing, Megyn Kelly. So this is the line that the conservatives might walk over the next few weeks, that it was 15-year-olds and that's fine, because that's just, young girls, not children. And they're wrong. That's a child. Because they're still going to support Donnie after this. I know that everything is popping off right now. I know that the Epstein files are popping out and they're going to be there and we're finally going to get them. But I've been through this before, guys. Everybody, listen, I've been through this before. It was when the Mueller report dropped. It was, God, what year was that? 2017, 2018 or some shit? Finally, the Mueller report dropped. I was just skimming my phone. No, I was watching TV when it popped off, and then there was a news report. Mueller report dropped, and I flipped over to the MSNBC. Oh my God, I have to find out. And then we watched the thing, and then everybody was talking about it. Everybody went nuts for it, and then it just died, and it proved that he totally did the thing, and he did the collusion, and it was right there. And then his attorney general came on TV, Bill Barr, and said, "Nope, no crimes here." And then we all pointed at the crimes. It was like, what about these crimes? And he's like, nope, no crimes here. That's what we're going to get. And then he not lost no supporters. I'm worried that that's what's about to happen. Again, I think we're going to find out, hey, look at all these crimes he did. And then the head of the DOJ, the Pam Bondi, the Nazi, is going to say, nope, sorry, guys, no crimes here. And then we're going to point to all the crimes. And she's going to say, nope, no crimes here. And then his MAGA faithful are going to point to the DOJ saying that there are no crimes there, as if that's a fact. And then they will tell you those facts. They will post them into my chat. They will post them into my YouTube comments. No crimes there. DOJ refused to bring him up on charges. That must mean he's innocent. He's in charge of the DOJ. They work for him. You see, that's the problem. That's why you shouldn't allow the president to be entirely in charge of the DOJ. Most presidents don't do that. Joe didn't do that. No, he didn't. Liars. The conservatives will tell you that he did, and they're wrong. Obama tried to stay away from the DOJ. One time, Bill Clinton spoke to the attorney general on a plane, and the Republicans wanted to crucify him for it. He found out she was there. He went and talked to her. He got off the plane afterward, and then the plane took off. A 4-minute conversation, and they were ready to murder him. They were ready to prove and say that he was a bad guy, and then scream buttery males. That's right. They have no ethics. They will scream about one thing and then do that thing. And then they'll do the thing while telling you that it's wrong to do the thing and that their only reason they're doing it is because the Dems did it first, which is never true. They lied and said the Dems did it first, you know? So him having direct contact with the head of the DOJ, sending her emails. We've seen his mistyped emails to her, telling her what to do, who to prosecute, who is guilty. That's so much worse than anything Bill Clinton ever did. He spoke to Loretta Lynch for like 4 minutes on a plane, and they were ready to kill him. They made up 1,000 fake scenarios about Joe Biden talking and telling Merrick Garland what to do, but Merrick Garland didn't bring charges up against anybody about anything ever. He was a failure. And if he was political, he would put every damn Republican who's had any inkling of Jan 6 in front of a fucking jury. That's what he would have done if he were political. But he wasn't. He was a wiener. Because Dems are generally wieners. So we're going to keep watching Epstein stuff. What else is going on? Let's do here. Let's see what else is in the thing. Emails. What do we got? We got, this is magnets. We'll do magnets later. The Republicans are expecting mass defections. Sorry. Philip G. Collier. Hi. How you doing? Thanks for coming in. Democrats are pushing the discharge petition predicted by that Republicans would rush to support the measure once it hit the floor. So Republicans are bracing for a significant chunk of the conference to vote for Representative Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey's Epstein file disclosure bill. Senate senior Republicans privately believe dozens of Republicans will vote for it, which is good. You need 218. The Grijalva was the 218th signature to bring it to a vote because our system is very dumb and very slow. You have to ask to bring it up for a vote. Now that they've hit 218, he must bring it up for a vote, and 218 people have to vote for it for them to release it. And these senior Republicans are privately thinking that dozens of Republicans will vote for it, as will all the Dems, and then it will pass. Possibly 100 or more, according to 5 people granted anonymity to speak candidly because they don't want to be involved in any of these things. So Don Bacon said earlier Wednesday that he'd vote in favor of the bill, demanding the Justice Department release files related to Jeffrey Epstein, but expressed confidence in the House Oversight Committee's work in releasing information related to the case. I think it's a little bit of a false hope that's going to provide these great results. Bacon told MSNBC. It's still got to work its way through the Senate and the president, but we're already getting a lot of results. Hang on. Does it really have to go through the president? God. Oh, man. Are you guys ready for that? Are you ready for the House to pass with like 300 votes, release the Epstein files? And then the Senate votes. Well, how will the Senate vote? They have the lead in Republicans